Next matchup, Brewers, Cardinals, 8:15, St. Louis. The Cards are minus 125, totals at 8. We saw a slight move downward on the total in this one. Once again, St. Louis minus $1.25, total open 8.5 down to 8 flat. 64% are leaning Cards, 67% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Brewers are plus 115 on the money line. St. Louis plus $1.65 on the run line. We have Adrian Hauser for the Brewers, Adam Wainwright for the Cards. Wainwright's 11-9 with 134 strikeouts. Now, Adrian Hauser on the other side for Milwaukee. He comes into this game with a 1.29 whip, 33 walked batters. St. Louis is in first place in the NL Central, 82-64 overall for the year, 46-26 at Busch Stadium. They also rank fourth in runs allowed, third in hits allowed as well. The Cards are second in runs allowed at home, second in hits allowed at home as well. They're also 14-6 in their last 20, 16-3 in their last 19 at Busch Stadium. Now the Brewers on the other side, they've lost 8 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups with St. Louis. They're also 19th in scoring, 26th in offensive strikeouts, and 27th in walks allowed. Now total-wise, both teams are 2-1 to the over in their last 3 when these particular probables started. So I'm going to lean Cardinals minus $1.25 in the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, Padres, Rockies, 8:40 Colorado. The Padres are minus $1.25, totals 12.5. We saw a 10-cent move towards San Diego and movement downward on the total. The Pods open $1.15 up to 125, total open 13 down to 12.5. 58% are leaning Padres, 78% shaded toward the under. Right now, Colorado's plus $1.15 on the money line. The Padres plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Joey Lucchesi for the Padres, Jeff Hoffman for the Rockies. Hoffman has punched out 54 batters in just 51 innings pitched. Joey Lucchesi on the other side for the Padres, as good as he has been in certain spots, he has walked 52 batters thus far in the year. Now, Colorado, believe it or not, as bad as they've been, they're playing .500 baseball at home. They're 2-1 in their last 3 ball games. First in home scoring, first in home hits. Now, San Diego on their side of things, losers in 2 out of their last 4, 6 out of their last 10 as well. They've won just 33 out of 71 when traveling. The Padres are 25th in scoring, 28th in offensive hits. When it comes to the number, the Padres are 7-2 to the under in their last 9. Colorado 5-1 to the under in their last 6. I'm going to lean Rockies plus $1.15 in the under 12.5 in that game. Next matchup, Reds, Diamondbacks, 9:40 Arizona. The Reds are minus 115, totals 8.5. We saw a nickel fade of Cincinnati and movement downward on the total. The Reds open $1.20 down to 115. Total open 9 down to 8.5. 51% are leaning Reds, 87% shaded toward the over. Right now the D-backs are plus 105 on the money line. The Reds are plus 150 on the run line. We have Luis Castillo for the Reds, Mike Leake for the Diamondbacks. Leake's 11-10 with 115 strikeouts. Castillo on the other side, as good as he's been this year, he's actually walked 69 batters. Now Arizona 6-1 straight up in their last 7 at home, 37-32 ATS at home as well. They rank 9th in offensive hits, 5th in home walks allowed. Now the Reds on the other side, winners in just 5 out of their last 15 ball games. They've also dropped 6 out of their last 8 on the road. They're in 4th place in the NL Central, just 68-79 overall for the year, 25th in road scoring. And when it comes to the total, Arizona's 6-3 to the under in their last 9. The Reds on the other side, 43-29 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Arizona Diamondbacks plus 105 in the under 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Rays, Angels, 10:07 Los Angeles. The Rays are minus 130, totals at 8. We saw a 10-cent fade of Tampa Bay and movement downward on the total. The Rays open $1.40 down to 130. Total open 8.5 down to 8. 72% are leaning Tampa Bay, 51% shaded toward the under. Right now the Angels are plus 120 on the money line. The Rays plus $1.25 on the run line. We have Charlie Morton for the Rays, Andrew Heaney for the Angels. Heaney's just 4-4 with a 4.30 ERA. Morton on the other side, 14-6 on the year, 3.11 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. He's also struck out 219 batters. The Angels are in fourth place in the AL West, just 67-80 overall for the year. Losers in 8 out of their last 10. They also rank 23rd in runs allowed at home, 24th in walks allowed in that same category. Tampa Bay on the other side, 3rd in runs allowed, 3rd in striking batters out. And when it comes to the total, the Angels are 7-2 to the over in their last 9, taking on an AL West opponent. I'm going to lean Rays minus 130 and the over 8 runs in that game. Next matchup, White Sox, Mariners, 10-10 Seattle. The Mariners are minus 140, totals 9.5. 69% are leaning Seattle's, 56% shaded toward the over. Right now, the White Sox are plus 130 on the money line. The Mariners plus $1.40, laying the 1.5. We have Dylan Covey for the White Sox, Yusei Kikuchi for the Mariners. Kikuchi 6-9 with a 5.24 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. Dylan Covey on the other side, 39 strikeouts and 55 innings pitched. Seattle's lost 7 out of their last 9. They've also won just 31 out of 72 at home. They're ranked 29th in hits on average per game, which is second to last in Major League Baseball. They're also 28th in runs allowed as well. A couple more things to add about the Mariners. They're last in offensive strikeouts at home, so they're leading the league in striking out at home. They're also 27th in striking batters out at home. So very interesting stats there. Now, total-wise, the Mariners 4-1 to the over in their last 5, taking on the White Sox. Meanwhile, Chicago 80% to the over in their last 5 themselves. I'm going to lean White Sox plus 1.5 in the over 9.5. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Marlins, Giants 10-15 San Francisco. The Giants are 140, totals 8.5. Not a whole lot of movement on the total. We did see a 15-cent fade of San Francisco in the early wagering. The Giants open 155 down to 140. Totals 8.5. 56% shaded toward the under. 56% shaded toward San Francisco. 80% shaded toward the under. Right now the Marlins are plus 130 on the money line. San Fran plus $1.45, laying the 1.5. We have Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. Tyler Beede for the Giants. Bede's just 4-9 with a 5.33 ERA, 1.58 WHIP. Sandy Alcantara on the other side for Miami. 131 strikeouts thus far on the year. The Giants have dropped 4 out of their last 5. They're also just 5-12 in their last 17. They've won 31 out of 72 at home this year. They rank 26th in scoring on average per game, 28th in home hits. When it comes to the total, the Giants are 6-2 to the over in their last 8, taking on the Marlins. Miami's 6-3 to the over in their last 9. I'm going to lean Miami Marlins plus 1.5 and the over 8.5 in that game. All right, guys, we're going to slide into our quick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. I got Miami plus 1.5 over 8.5. White Sox plus 1.5 over 9.5. Rays minus 130 over 8 runs. Arizona plus 105 under 8.5. Colorado plus 115 under 12.5. Cardinals minus 125 over 8 runs. Royals plus 1.5 over 8.5. Oakland minus 165 over 11 runs. Twins minus $1.25 over 9.5. Dodgers minus 130 over 7.5. Baltimore plus 102 over 9.5. Yankees minus 1.5 over 10.5. Nationals minus 165 over 8 runs. And last but certainly not least, I have the Cubs minus 175 and the over 9.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some shout-outs. Got to give a shout-out to Justin Caballero, who continues to support me in each and every video. Thank you, Justin. Great to see you in the comment section. Got to give a shout-out to Gio Lopez, who at one point had my back, but he's getting very frustrated with me, kind of coming at my neck for losing. It's been a tough week, Gio. I certainly understand your frustration, and I got to do a better job. Shout out to Proline Master, Dominique Hughes, who actually appreciates my work. And yes, Dom, I have checked out your work, and I like it. I think you need to keep it up and upload as many videos as you can. Do it on a daily basis. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of dedication, but it's worth it in the end. Shout out to my guy, Stephen Lewis. Steve, great to see you each and every day. Steve, I believe, is my, I know he's one of my top 10 supporters. I don't know if I want to crown anyone number one. I think we're all kind of in that board member. We're kind of like all equal. But anyway, Steve, definitely a top 10 commenter and subscriber there. Shout out to OCZYS MM. Shout out to Mike Wilkerson. Mike's a very frequent commenter as well. I think Mike's in the running for top 10 subscriber as well. Got to give a shout out to the Overseer, Danny J. Those guys are both great as well. Shout out to A&M TV. And last but certainly not least, shout out to John Rodriguez. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website, patreon.com/BrockPage. We had a nice board member win yesterday on Patreon. We also do daily plays on that site. We have a bunch of different memberships and packages. They begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there, including my current record. Patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And as always, best of luck to you. Happy Friday. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.